It's telling me my encoding's overloaded, but I don't have anything being encoded. It's so frustrating dealing with this. Turning down your video settings. I have them down as low as they'll go. Why is it using 80% of my CPU? I hate computers. Come on. Work. And OBS is freezing. Higher uses less CPU and it's using 70%. Can't go any faster. Together. What did my keyframe change from 1 to 2?
Oh shoot, I gotta do it number.
Use new what any of this means. Look, there's a weasel sticker now. They added a weasel sticker. He's so cute. Oh, it's probably because I have the other camera on. It doesn't like it when I use the stream camera.
Set timer for 15 minutes.
I mean, I could just remove it altogether. I don't want it to work. Weather's getting warm enough to actually wear other things. Did it freeze? Why is it frozen? No, that's just my computer. Okay. I need that shoulder sleeve section thing.
Oh, okay.
It's getting ears today. Getting cheeks today. Ow. It's in the box with the feet.
Here it is. Oh, wait, which?
I need the half that the marking goes on is in the box
Oh.
with his feet pieces. This is from Spyro. I hope this isn't the one that Facebook blocks all the time and says it's that other thing. Actually, I need a couple of these. Okay, black paint in it. Sleeve section. Waiting if I want to airbrush that or hand paint it. I think I'm going to do both. Both back. Oh, I do both vacuums. Whoops. Well, you know the vacuum's working when it's knocking everything over. I'm not babysitting it. Hmm?
Okay.
Does he have something stuck to his foot? The stream delay is only like 12 seconds right now. My empty coffee cups.
Okay. I was thinking about making some more coffee.
A cup of water or two. Water or two. Fun fact, dry erase erases Sharpie. Oh, am I encoding again? It doesn't say I'm cutting frame rates or having encoding issues. If you really need to know, you can Google it. It is soft. just cleaned my desk. It's fur everywhere already. Your alarm's going off. That washer or dryer?
Dryer.
Yeah, you can't post pictures and photos to streams.
Yeah, it's all cool, but we're about to go home. Stop. That's completely the wrong way.
Hello. As well as I can be at the moment. What? Did he push his dock in the hallway?
No, I couldn't go in his dock before I walked out. It's been like 5 minutes and he's still wandering around.
What button did you hit? Did you hit the home button?
Yeah. Come on.
Are you sure you didn't hit the single room button? Because if he's going back and forth, he's probably just trying to clean the room.
He's not, I hit the home with the plug button. There he goes.
That pink weasel is Marvin, and he's actually our mascot and doesn't get enough love. A wonderful friend, Frankie, who is Art of Yote, actually did that up for us this weekend. As well as our new announcement banner. So now we have several stickers of Marvin with and without his paintbrush, and they are fantastic, and I love them. Oh. Someday I will make a fursuit of him so that everybody can hug him and enjoy him, and I'll even get him a paintbrush and do a dance in him. But maybe we'll make that a Patreon goal. It's not something I plan to do anytime soon. I really would like to, at some point, make a suit of him to have on display at like our booths and stuff when we go to shows. Like that would just be something fun that people could come and make it hug and plushable and just let people come up and hug this giant furry size, life-size Marvin. But he's cute and he's got a paintbrush. And look, she even put Weasels and Easels on the paintbrush because it's just awesome. Freaky, just cool stuff like that. So Marvin's fursona is a tiger. And that's our other logo, which is a tribute to my father. Hello, Katja! When is the Weasel getting a suit? I don't know when the Weasel's getting a suit. I suppose when I have enough Patreon supporters to merit putting the cost into it. I wouldn't mind having a suit for the Weasel. He was never designed as my Sona. He's like my business mascot. And his fursona is a tiger. He's on my list of things I'd like to eventually do, but he's not like on my current need to do him now list. I really want to do him. I just don't know when. My stream is like really caught up today. I'm used to it being off by several minutes, and it's actually right on this morning. It's really nice. You ask a question, and I actually give an answer very quickly. If you haven't already,
what?
We have a post on our page if you scroll down, and it says Patreon announcement. And if you go in that post, there's a little giveaway hidden in there if you read it, and it tells you how to enter. Plus, if you want to throw a few bucks here and there at our Patreon, you can save them up to put towards fursuits and stuff. So that's really nice. So if that's a long-term goal you have, is you really, really, really want to get a fursuit from us, but you can't afford a payment plan, that is actually a way to do it. And your points don't expire. So you don't have an obligation to have to worry about missing a monthly payment, or, you know, you just throw at it what you can when you want each month, and then you build it up over time. No, you're free to come over. If you see me to come say hi. If I'm not busy, I will say hi. And if I am busy, you can hover. You know, I usually have a group of people. Usually the time when I'm busy is when I'm filming. I am working on several things with some folks. So if I'm at a con and I'm being followed by a film crew, be aware that I may be working. But aside of that, John typically does most of the running at tables while I am doing panels and filming and other nonsense, but it really depends on the con. Though I don't think I've done a con in quite a while where I haven't been doing some type of film work. I'm sorry, we're just kind of tied about the different ways that we can do things. It's just legality things. Well, and that's my thing with the Patreon and trying to offer this, because I have people all the time and they want suits, but they can only throw it on $25 or $50 at a time, and they can't, you know, make several $100s every month, and they really, really want one. And I'm trying to make it more accessible to other people, but in a way that's going to benefit us and them as well. Because I can't spend 30 hours a month hounding people down trying to get them to send these little itty payments every month. And the Patreon will open up that option to people because they can pay as they have the amount to throw towards it. They can increase the amount they give in a month. There'll be options for bonus points in it through different things. You know, refer a friend, who's the most active in the Patreon this week, you know, etc. Participating in stuff. And it gives people a reason to want to check back to the Patreon because they don't want to miss that stuff. And it basically makes it so, like, if someone wants a payment plan and can't afford a suit, that is a way that they can do it, you know, and help us in the long term as well. I'm sure we'll have to make changes to the program eventually. Like, if I get a lot of people doing it, we may be able to say, well, we can only add one Patreon-based suit per suit set, which we do them in, like, sets of 4. But we'll figure it out as we go. You know, it's a work in progress. We are trying to figure out a way to make it work for you guys and a way to make it work for us. No, actually, I'm not. This is EVA foam, and it is very commonly used in cosplay builds, and people will hit it with a heat gun or soldering irons or tools like that. I am warming it with the tip of my glue gun, which is about 400 degrees. I'm not touching the tip of this. And then after it cools, I'm pushing it down with my fingers, and what it's doing is it's essentially melting the edge of the EVA foam down and smoothing it out, so when I glue fur over it, you won't see a big ridge there. I'm just shaping it. So I'm gluing these pieces on and carving them and then shaping them to look like I want them to. This is something new I started like a couple weeks ago, doing it with these little pieces of EVA foam. They're good. I'm finding it's really good for like little small areas instead of putting green foam here and then trying to shave almost all of it off. We appreciated that. That was great. The wedding was crazy and fun. I was just saying something and then I got distracted by a message from a customer and I don't remember what it was. I'm trying. I got out of bed. I did a thing. I went out and drove around and enjoyed the sun this morning, so that was nice. It like rains here constantly in the winter, and yesterday and today have been sunny and warm. So we took yesterday afternoon off and went and enjoyed some sunshine. And this morning, before I got to work, I went out to catch some sun because I usually spend the first few hours of the day moping, anyways, trying to get my joints to want to work. So I went out and I got some sunshine, and I got a new top to wear because I don't wear shirts in the summer. I wear bathing suits all summer long and short shorts because it's hot. It's good to get comfy clothes. I guess sometimes it's better to try and be distracted than it is to just ignore it. So I've been working and I haven't really been doing any type of streaming, and I was just like, you know what, I want to stream today, so your camera up and I'm streaming. And no, I'm not putting any glue on top of this right now. I'm just using it to heat the surface of the foam. Thank you. I used to paint as a hobby, and when I got sick, it just kind of became my thing because I had nothing else to do and spent all day in bed. So, never quit drawing. Always find a reason to enjoy it. Just keep trying every day. But yeah, seriously, never be afraid to come say hi. If I need to go sit and I'm resting, I'll say so. And just because I'm here saying it, I see this all the time where people get super excited. They see someone like Telephone or Regier or someone they really know, or someone really well known and that they really want to meet. And if they're tired, let them go. Go find them again later, because I see this all too often where people go, oh, well, she's the furry with the wheelchair and she needs to go, so let her rest. But then they'll turn around and hound these other people, and they forget that they're people too, and, you know, they're just as tired as I am. So always just try to mention that. If you see a maker, or not even a maker, if you see anyone at the con and they look tired or they need to go, let them. Don't hoard them. If they've just told someone that they need to go, don't immediately run up and take that person's place. You know what I mean? We need, like, PSAs. Poppy furs are people too. That's why a lot of poppy furs say they hate that word, because it kind of takes away the concept that they're a person. They're only recognized for their furry or their suit, and people forget that there's a person inside that needs to rest. They're just so apt to meet them, you know? Yeah, and I actually have a... I need to lose some weight. I have another heat tool that's like a wood burner that's got different tips in it that you can also use for this. I just am also kind of lazy when I'm in my chair because I have a hard time getting out of it. So my glue gun's here and I have it out, so I'm using it. I missed some of these. No, it won't scroll. Sunshine's very good. Oh, no, I'm going the wrong way. Do I? Honestly, Shada doesn't have that much art at all. I've done a couple things for her, and I think I have one badge, and that's it. A few people have offered to make things, but she doesn't really, she's kind of neglected in the art world. People only know about her from the Lisa Ling episode. I mean, she has very little attention aside of that and the other film work I've been doing. People just hound you at a con just because someone's following you with a camera. I find a lot of people, they want to be in the backgrounds of things. So if they see a camera person at a con, they'll follow you around and they decide you're important because someone's got a camera. It's really amusing to me being out in the public. And that weird little artist who hides in a cave at home and goes out maybe once in a great mood. Go for it. Oh yeah, and I've seen it and it sucks. I mean, Telephone only went out at like Midwest Fur Fest a couple times. She couldn't get out of her room. She got down the elevator, couldn't get anywhere. I mean, it's just, it sucks. If you want to see your favorite furry come out in their fursuit, but they can't even get out of their room, there's a good chance they're probably not going to go out wearing it. You know, it's not so much that there's necessarily an issue with you know, crowding and people seeing it. It's just that people do forget that that person's a person, and they, you know, I saw last year there was someone going on about how angry they were at Eno because she wasn't at Anthrocon and how she ruined their Anthrocon experience because she wasn't there. And I'm like, she pays for cons like every one of us other people do. It costs money, it costs time, you know, she works a job at home making suits, and the rest of her time, that's, you know, we're people. I think a lot of people don't realize that. Even when I was filming Lisa Ling, I paid for that con. I paid for travel to get there. The car that I drove there was, like, we literally bought a few days before because of the car accident. We almost didn't film. You know, having to call and tell the film crew that I know you're flying here and filming next week, but I'm in a neck brace now is not a fun thing to do. I've seen the crap end of it for sure. You know, my aesthetic is wanting to be able to stand up and do things for the community, and it's not even that, it's not recognition, it's that I have gotten a lot of help from a lot of amazing people, furries and not furs, and I volunteer and go do that stuff because I enjoy it. You know, and unfortunately, I know people who do it just for the recognition. I've done so many more events than I actually have film and photos of. And I do it because I enjoy it. But, you know, even being in that episode, and I've got people on me who have this false idea of what they think I should be or how they think I should live or respond. And they get mad when they find out I'm not whatever their version of being an ideal person is, you know. They go, oh, you look so great on this, but then they see me in a wheelchair and they go, why? And I'm like, did you not watch it? Because I have a wheelchair and I do use it. It's not for show. I don't bring it to my dance competitions because it looks good. I bring it to my dance competitions because after I dance, I need to sit down. You know, and sometimes I don't, and that's great. And a lot of times I do, and that's fine too. I want people to be like, just because someone's disabled or struggles in some way doesn't mean they can't do things. They just might need to find a different way to do it. Because I want to dance, and I'm going to dang well dance. And, you know, I hope to one day get to make it to finals at Anthrocon. That's a long-term dream of mine. But I'm going to have to work to get there, you know? And the only thing I don't like about dance competitions is the way they judge audience feedback. Because there's more than one type of audience feedback, and judges like to judge by sound. Oh, no, where'd it go? You know, and I've seen other ways that it's done before. It just cut my video. Where'd it go? Who sad reacted my live? Sadness. I should have loved. Just an FYI, there is one stream set that doesn't load the chat into the main chat. So I'm chatting with you guys here, and then I'm also reading a feed on my tablet, which just pooped on me and doesn't want to load now. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess one of the hardest things I've been struggling with is learning that there are a lot of furries who really hate the fact that there are disabled people in the community. And a lot of people who are just in general very sour about the documentaries that happen about the community because they always involve fursuiters, and they're like, well, they act like if you can't have a fursuit, you can't be this. And it's just that to the outside world, that's what they see, you know? Why? It was working. Why not now? Here, I'm gonna try this. We're gonna share now, back out. I wonder if the app's like out of date. This is not like the app on my phone at all. Update Facebook. Oh, yeah, what do you know? It's got an update. I haven't updated Facebook on my tablet in 10 months. I'm trying to get in a better habit of using my tablet for work. I have to pay every month to have it on my Verizon plan, and like its only existence is the fact that it goes to cons and is used as our card reader, and I'm just like, I need to use it for a little bit more than that. 90% of the time, my disability is invisible. People think I look too healthy to have a wheelchair and give me crap about it. People say I look too happy to have a handicap permit. They give me crap about that. You know, I've got... all of my stuff is technically invisible because I'm not, like, paraplegic. And a lot of people have this, like, idea of why someone should need a wheelchair. And I'm like, I have epilepsy and I have bad joints. I can walk a bit. And then sometimes I can't walk. And some days I can run. And it's all over the place, you know? Oh, gosh. I have met so many toxic people. Oh, no, you're fine. I paid for an extra service last month, and then we moved the service, and this is my last month. So until that service ends, I have an extra RTPM. Which long story short, that means I can do 2 Facebook streams at once. So I have no other place to post it. So I've been posting it to my personal feed. So you are free to talk there. That's why I have my tablet up. I'm not bothered at all. But if you want to help me, you can go over to the one on the Weasels and Easels page and just share that, just because that's the one that gets us actual attention for our work. This just, people find my personal page, and I have friends, so I post it anyways. You know, typically in the past, I've streamed on Weasels and Easels and then shared it to mine. I've only been doing this for a couple weeks just because, like I said, Tiger Dial is closing down, and so I had to switch to a different Patreon stream, so the service is not being used now. I'm paying for Picardo Premium, but I had already paid for Restream's Premium, so it's just like whatever. We're having issues because YouTube is a jerk, and oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. It's complicated computer lingo. Is that round basket with blades over on your desk?
Round basket with blades?
Yeah. You know what? Never mind. I have one over here, and I don't know if the blade I'm looking for is in it. Well, it sure isn't that one. Okay, let's... Here, I think I can use this one. Oh, you guys are fine. I don't care. Like I said, I'm just chilling. When I don't want to talk to people, I turn my mic off. I know that sounds horrible, but if I'm tired and I want to listen to my own music, I turn the mic off. So when the mic's off, it's usually because I'm chattering with John about personal stuff, or it's because I want to listen to my Pandora. That is pulling my cord cover with it. Don't do that. It's the only problem about melting foam to foam. Come on. I did not get this centered properly. And I ripped the cord cover. Oh, I'm gonna have to glue it down. That really sucks. I don't have enough light over here to see what I'm doing. It's a complicated thing. There is a problem where big companies will find little companies and basically report them for copyright violations, whether or not they actually have one. And during the time they have a case open, they can monetize on your videos for free. So several years ago, I accidentally did a live stream and it had like 15 seconds of music in the background on my radio and flagged my live stream. And ever since then, all of my videos have gotten auto-flagged by UMG and Sony, which is Universal Music Group. And this is a problem because now battery base is critically low. So now they auto flag. Oh god, that froze my encoder. I hate technology. Being plugged in like killed it. Let's turn off this. Let's just straight up remove it. Yes. See if that works. Come on. And my program froze. Adjusted bit rate, controlled frame rate, controlled bit rate. Why does it keep changing? Did it fix? Ooh, okay, it's working. Okay, so now that it's back up. This is an issue where they auto flag, and yeah, it's a predatory thing, and they basically steal monetization from little pages, and it does a couple of things. One, because they auto flag all of my videos, it removes my immediate eligibility for monetization, which means that when I post videos and streams to YouTube, unlike other makers and creators, I'm not earning any money off of them. I stream to YouTube because I'm nice. No, that sounds horrible. But anyways, but literally, seriously, this is a problem. And so I have no options to earn money off of YouTube. So I've had people complaining that, oh, it's unfair that I have a Patreon. Why make a paywall? Why give people early access? Why don't you just post to YouTube like everybody else? And that's why, because I cannot actually earn any money off of YouTube at all. It's completely a dead problem, and it just sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. So I've been fighting it for 4 years now, before I ever even did furry live streams, way back when I was just me drawing as a hobbyist. But once one of these companies does this, it never goes away, and it's been really frustrating. And what they do is these cases get opened, and then they never get answered, and because you don't earn money, and YouTube actually earns money off of adding these ads to your videos, they don't care. They don't pay attention to anything. They don't answer any of my messages. Every once in a while, one of my appeals will go through and it will come down, but a video gets its most life and earnings in the first few weeks that it's up, and every one of these cases takes 60 days to even be looked at. So by the time they come down, it doesn't matter, and I'm not going to earn anything off of it. So we are actually surprisingly gaining subscribers, and I was really shocked to go on there the other day and discover we have almost 200 subscribers, and the last I knew we had like 10, which is great. I'm glad that people are enjoying our YouTube, but we don't actually earn money through our YouTube. And normally, you know, you go to another person's YouTube channel and a video pops up and you watch the video and you complain about it, skip or whatever. If you really like the person you're supporting, watch the whole ad, because they get, say, 10 cents off a video if you hit skip. And these are totally numbers out of my butt, so don't just like assume this is how much they make. But they'll make, like, say 50 cents off of that video if you watch the ad. So if you really like it, like someone, and you watch a lot of their videos and you subscribe, I highly recommend watching the ads, because it really helps them as an artist. Regardless of that, though, we can't actually earn money off of our videos. We don't earn money off of our videos, so the only way that we've managed to be like, okay, well, why bother making YouTube videos, is that, well, we go, okay, well, let's make them for Patreon, and, you know, our Patreon supporters will get early access to these videos, and later, we'll post them to YouTube, and other people can see them, and that's, you know, how we make that, you know, kind of worth the time. You know, we don't have that many people on Patreon, but we make a little bit from it now, so that's nice. But where this is causing a problem is that I use a program called Restream to stream to several different places, and when you use Restream, there's a whole bunch of places you can stream that are free, but then there's a whole bunch of places that are premium. So there's 2 levels of premium. There's a basic level of premium that gives you one custom RTTMP. And what that is it's basically one site where I can put in a custom HTML to stream to. Otherwise, it's just like they're auto set up, like the same way any other site would stream to YouTube. I can just stream there. So that's why I stream on YouTube, is because my program just auto does it. So it's one of the places it just auto streams to me. But what was happening with the YouTube thing is I was originally doing our live streams for Patreon through the YouTube. And what this did is you would stream through it, and I would make an unlisted video, and our Patreon subscribers, you could get to the video with a direct link only, and it would make it so our Patreon subscribers could come watch the video, and unless someone had a link to get the back way in, they couldn't get in. That's how it's supposed to work. Except that I discovered shortly after our Patreon coming alive and starting to do special Patreon videos that this auto flagging thing is still hitting our channels, and it was hitting my Patreon streams and locking them up so the Patreon viewers couldn't watch them. So our Patreon viewers are paying for streams, and it's locking them out, and then a little bit later, after their report goes through, it was then making our videos public. And I have no idea how. I could not figure out how. We went through all the settings, and it was becoming a huge issue. And finally, I was just like, okay, I need to do our streams a different way, because people were getting into the streams who had bookmarked our live stream setup, so they were viewing our unlisted streams without paying through the Patreon. And then we were having this issue that was taking my streams down and making them unviewable, and then immediately throwing them back up public so other people were seeing them. And it was just like, okay, you know, people are paying $25 a month to view these streams that I do several times a month, and they weren't actually able to watch them or anything. So it's getting really frustrating. So eventually I just was like, okay, we're going to find a different way. In the past, I had used a program called Tiger Dial to stream, and there I could set up password locked streams. So I went back to Tiger Dial. I hadn't been on there for years. I didn't realize how much Tiger Dial had died in that time. And a couple of weeks after I had gotten re-signed up on Tiger Dial, I got an email that Tiger Dial is starting to shut down and closing as an entity. So I had to find another server stream again. But in order to do Tiger Dial and Facebook with Restream, I had to go in and upgrade my Restream package. So it ended up costing me an extra like $50 a month to do Tiger Dial and Restream to make it work for the Patreon. And I did that for 2 months, and then Tiger Dial shut down. So I managed to set up, and now I'm doing premium with Picardo. That lets me do private streams there, and they're just link based. And no one can get in on the back end of those. So that's nice and really useful. But I had to pay $10 for that, and I had already paid the like $45 that it was for Restream for the month and for Tiger Dial. So I'm like on the end bit of the Restream. Good night, Katja. But yeah, it's things, no one really talks about them. It's frustrating. You'll find YouTube videos on the subject. But in the end, it doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't care. YouTube does not give one bit of a care in the world, because they earn money off of you when they do it. It is. It's so frustrating. And I've been dealing with this problem for several years. And it's just like, you know, now we're growing, and we could probably actually earn money off monetization because I'm starting to meet the requirements. The problem is everything gets auto-flagged anyways, so even if I did list things to auto-monetize, it would immediately come down and the money would go to someone else, so. This is why we're pushing the Patreon so hard, because I want to do this stuff for you guys, but it costs me $60 a month between all of my programs to be able to put my streams up. Hi, Frankie! Yeah, we're working on it. I mean, I was just happy to have some subscribers, because I've had this Patreon up for years, and for the longest time never had subscribers, and then one day I was like, oh, I have subscribers. It's like, over the course of a couple weeks, we got a lot of subscribers, and I think one left, but most of them stayed, and we've since gained a couple more. So I'm pushing, I'm trying to help the community, and trying to keep us on our feet so we keep making suits. Mostly I'm just tired. Oh yeah, the thing is though, a lot of the sites that I pay for these, like, they cover Patreon streaming and other streaming, so why not use them anyways, you know? In order to do the streaming for Patreon, I have to pay the money, so if I can use it 2 other days a week, it's just like, why not? Besides that, I I enjoy streaming, and streaming has been one of the best things for our page. We have grown exponentially fast compared to a lot of other makers. You know, I may have been doing art for a long time, but in those first several years, I only got a couple hundred makers, and then I started streaming fursuit builds, and boom, we exploded and went from like 300 followers to 1,500 in a year, and then in another year's time are up to where we are now. So it's been a lot of hard work, and I think it's worth it, and people enjoy it. And I mean, the alternative is just staring at a wall and talking to myself the whole time. So. Oh, well, hi, Frankie. Look, I put the Marvin on the stream. Now he needs a sticker pack. It's gonna bug me. He wants to be on our fursuit liners. We should put him on the fursuit liners. Just saying. Let me put this back on where it actually goes. Move slightly to the left, and height difference is fine. Inspirational. Yeah, the move was hard. Just this past year's been difficult. I was doing pretty good and really steady up until that car accident. That year was bad. It took me all summer to get back after the kidney infection I had in May, and I finally got going, and then it's like you just watch all of it go down the toilet, and then it's gone. Had so many people, you know, get upset and frustrated that waits have been long, and they absolutely have every reason to be upset. I've also had some really horrible people who are angry that there's a queue in front of them and have completely flipped out as well. And that's completely ridiculous. But, I mean, the people who are sick of waiting and have been waiting for a year over due date for their suit, absolutely every reason. I get it. This suit was supposed to be done in June of last year. And I didn't even get to start it until January of this year. That car accident put me so far behind, and then immediately moving and not being able to get treatment. You know, it's taken me till a year, till now, to finally be up and really walking and moving and working every day and being able to actually sit at my desk and do stuff. We had to build a custom height riser for my chair so I could actually work at my desk more than an hour or two. It's been frustrating. I'm just tired. All I ever do is work anymore. It's slow. It's just so slow. And I hate making people wait. I've been waiting way, way too long. It's not fair to people. And then people get angry and throw fits, and then it just makes everybody else wait longer. John's in the other room cleaning. We got a notice in our door last night that the apartments have decided to spring an inspection on us. And our bedroom's a mess, so we're cleaning it up. He's cleaning it up because he's an awesome husband. He does a lot of the cleaning around the house, so I can try and get as much work done as I can. Therapy has been making me tired. But I'm doing therapy 3-4 days a week now. It's good. We found a local pool, so I've been going and swimming, and I'm starting to lose weight. This makes me so happy. Let's see, at the beginning of the year, I was 245 pounds. And I've managed to get down to 220 in the past several months. And it's just been working and trying real hard to exercise and get the weight off because it's affecting my ability to fursuit and get around. And I gained so much weight after the car accident. People keep telling me I look great. It's not about looking great. It's that, like, I have a joint complication, and it actually hurts me. And I need to get the weight off because it's affecting my heart. I have a bad heart, and keeping weight down is an important thing. Yeah. What a lot of people don't realize is that when I went and did that at the A&W, I had taken a massive dose of CBD and hydrocodone a few hours before, so I wasn't feeling pain, and I was probably a little high. Actually, I was really high, but that was the one highlight I had all weekend, and I still had my neck brace on underneath it. I had never been to a con that had fursuit games, and I wasn't quite sure what it was, but when I went in there, I got shuffled to the front and was just like, oh, you're doing this now, and I was just like, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing now. Yeah, I could not imagine doing vinyl. That would just be so miserable and so hot. People have always found a reason to hassle me. You're either too broken or you're not broken enough. And people tell me all the time, well, if you're that broken, then you shouldn't be running a fursuit business. But then they turn around and get mad when they hear that I have disability. And I'm like, I have been trying to get off of it for several years. You either want me to work or you don't. You gotta pick one. You tell me you don't want me to run a business, but you also don't want me to live off the government. And everyone has to start somewhere. And frankly, I'm glad to have the little backup barrier I have, because if I lose my insurance, I will probably get sick and lose my business. Unfortunately, see several very expensive specialists for my autoimmune issues and my genetic conditions. And if I can't see them and get my regular therapy, then I'll be right back where I began 5 years ago. I miss being an endurance athlete. Biking was my life. I'm just tired all the time. I don't know what happened to the bandana that I had. I think one of the film crew took it and gave it back to them. Some people took the bandanas home and some people left them. I'm not sure. I kind of got in trouble for doing it, and they pulled me and were like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. So after the first thing, I ended up sitting in the back. I wasn't very happy about it. I mean, they were right. I had a really injured neck and shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. It was a really poor decision on my part. Yes, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I also have mast cell disease, systemic lupus erythematosus, fibromyalgia, and epilepsy and Asperger's. So I have a fun bucket list of conditions. And I'm developing a lot of signs of complications that come with Ehlers-Danlos. But my joints are deteriorating. And unfortunately, I can't have kids, and I had to be sterilized. Some people have it a little, and some people have it really bad. And I'm just on the crap end of it. Some days it makes it worse, some days it makes it better. It's just taking your time, and if you have EDS that affects your heart, be careful, stay hydrated, get a cooling vest. You know, it really varies. It's really just, it's taking care of yourself and learning to recognize your limits. And if it's something you're going to do, I would start with a partial, and I would start very slow, and I would always, under every condition, have a handler. And probably wear some type of tag that mentions that you have that, because it's important for EMS to know if something does happen. You know, you shouldn't let it stop you from doing things you love, but you should also take care of yourself and not do stupid things. You know, I want to dance, I'm learning to dance, and there are times where I haven't and I've had to bow out, so. Don't go looking for trouble. I love Spyro. John got me this for Valentine's Day. It's a nice pillow to lean on. Helps my back to lean up on something. I'm getting tired. And hi, Gina. You still have my dream job. The sloth needs a name. We should name it. My chair sloth. My desk sloth. He's where my laziness goes when I sit in my chair. no, talk's not that serious. It's mostly just me rambling. We made a Windstone Facebook group. I'm pretty sure I invited you to it, but I'm not 100% sure. Mostly so John could ask polls in there for Melody. How have you been doing? You should come visit us sometime. I'm sorry we live so far away now. Everyone agrees that your sloth is rad.
It's your sloth. Got it before you.
It's so fluffy.
That was like the silkiest, softest animal they had there. Just.
I like soft things. Thank you for vacuuming the bedroom. That was you, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Vacuumed the bedroom.
So was that someone upstairs I was hearing?
I vacuumed our front area and cleaned it up a bit about in front of the house. I need to get this area. Need to take a short break off my feet.
I just keep hoping that I will find the Winter Storm Spectral Dragons because I've still never located those. They're the only eBay pieces I've ever bid on aside of Sea Spray, and I've never managed to find them. There's not even stock photos anymore. Like, when the site got revamped, they disappeared, and it's sad. I swear they exist. I don't remember who painted them. Was that you? Sloth would hub 10 out of 10. How many votes for the sloth today? Rawr. Look at the foxy. And yeah, I need to put one more on there. You didn't need non-mammal suits. I have some in progress. Have I done any to date? No. Yes, well, I've done a Serval, which is furry and is technically not a mammal. They are furry, reptilian, avian things. I'm not sure how you would anatomically explain them. They have a lot of avian anatomy, but they're furry and considered reptilian. So you just go with it, I guess. Oops. I am doing a crested gecko at the end of the year. I have several dragons in progress. I'm working on a Dutch angel dragon as well. I have two of those actually. I have one we're doing for the Patreon right now, and then I have a head in queue soon. And I've got a whole bunch of heads that I'm going to be focusing on over the next month because the boys are taking over doing most of the bodysuit work, so I will be refocusing to work on stuff they don't do. Which is kind of the whole point of getting them going, because I can't roll around DTDs anymore. They're too heavy, and they hurt me. So I help them with it, and I sew stuff. I mean, they have enough knowledge now that they can make an entire bodysuit on their own. Which is good. They've been doing really good. You okay?
Not really. I can't seem to get that machine to grab the thread to bring it up.
Give me. Oh, I'll come help. Where is Cobarudo at? Does he have his head with him?
Huh?
Where's the head for Cobarudo at? I don't see it up. Is it like down on the table, or does Joe have him?
I don't know.
Usually it's hanging up on her. I would just grab it to show on stream, but it's not.
I don't know if he brought it with him somewhere, or if it's in his room. It was right here.
Oh, I don't know. Depends on the type of suit.
It's either in his room or it's with him somewhere.
If someone asked me to, I would totally try it.
Oh.
I'm just happy that my new wheelchair, the back comes off, so I can actually wear my suit in it. If you want to talk about, instead of integrating a wheelchair into a suit, I did integrate a suit to a wheelchair, because the head I made for Gracie was actually designed to wear with my wheelchair, and so it has really good vision so that I can see really well and very few blind spots. And it's fully soft, so that if someone's behind me, I don't actually stab them with the horns.
Okay, I can do one more load of one.
I'm gonna wash my shorts.
Yep.
Oh, can you take the rainbow pillowcase and wash that?
I thought I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
If you already did, then I didn't know. Sorry, that's fine.
I did that the last time.
Oh, I wasn't sure how much of that got washed. Well, never mind. I'm talking to John. You guys don't have to do my laundry. But if you really want to come over and help John do our laundry, you're free to. Let me call my grandma.
You tried all these on?
Hmm?
Did you try all these on?
No, but I know they fit me.
Cutting the tags off.
Yeah, I know. Honey, I can look at them and tell you right away that my butt will fit in those. I knew someone who had little tank treads for their electric wheelchair. They had a special track for riding in the snow. it was really neat.
If you want to see something great with wheelchairs, there's a Top Gear where the guys try to make off-road wheelchairs of their own.
I knew someone who had one though.
They're great. Well, they end up making their own versions, and then they have a competition that's a race to.
Did you ever meet the storm chaser guy that lived in our apartment complex for a little bit?
Was that the guy that had the?
He had the big power wheelchair with the tracks.
But they had 3 military veterans who were like missing limbs and stuff that they competed against.
That's cool.
Going up the thing, and the veterans kicked their ass. Of course, but it was really amusing and actually very interesting.
Yeah, we had this guy who lived in our apartments for a while, and he was like a storm chaser guy, and he was in a wheelchair, and he always suggested that storm chasing was probably why he was in a wheelchair, but he wouldn't say why. And he was really funny because he chased tornadoes, but he chased them because he believed the government was putting chemicals into the tornadoes. And that's where chemtrails actually came from, because it was being thrown into the jet stream, and that's why the tornadoes are affected so much by it. The guy was really interesting.
It's one way to put it.
Yeah. But he actually had a lot of really cool stuff, and he had this huge ham radio set up and like a freaking weather monitor that he had like attached off the back of his patio with like this 14-foot tall antenna. I've met some pretty eccentric people in my life. Aw, does that mean you're leaving?
As long as they're not harming anyone, I don't care.
Yeah, he had like a dozen computers in his house with like weather radars and all that. And he was all like, I don't like living here. The weather's boring. North Idaho is just too boring. Here, let's see if I can do this without putting my finger up at this time. so much better than the other ones. You need to get back into the hole. Keep my finger away from there. Who's got all of my other pliers? My thing's coming off. Yes. The other week, I had one of these slip off while I was using it and very sharply spear into my finger and rip a huge hunk of skin out. I mean, and it just caught. It just hung there in my finger. It was so painful as I tried to pull it out without making it worse. So I'm just like, they're under tension. Try to keep your fingers away from them. I mean, I bend them in so they can't come out because I don't want it hurting one of my customers. I find that the springs that come with these that DVC sends out are not usually strong enough, and they sag over time, and I got sick of it. So I started getting my own springs for these, and I swap them out when they come. But I put the springs in so that the actual spring is underneath foam, so that way it's not up against the person's face or pinching them. So you can see that the springs are on the outside of the hinges rather than the inside. boing, boing. This has so much tension in them. It's beautiful. They won't click as much once there's fur in there to buffer it. One side of that does. Maximum chomp. Yeah, just when you're stretching the springs, just keep your fingers out of the way. Like, look at it, because when it snaps, it's gonna snap straight back. So don't put your finger over it. Oh yeah, glue sucks. I have gotten myself so much with hot glue. Yeah, last time I got glue all over my leg while I was, because I fell asleep while I was working, I was like, I don't do hot glue when I'm tired anymore. If I'm tired, it has to wait till the next day, because it's not worth me personally injuring myself over getting it done a day early. Ah. Lots of space. Alright. Now that the hinges are on, I can put the cheek panels on. No, don't do that. Make a mess. Yeah, I got my thighs covered and debated if I was going to wear a shirt or not, and I just decided that it was too uncomfortable, so. I think the most painful glue burn I've ever done was on my finger, and it was about 1 inch long on the inner palm, so I couldn't grip anything, and it was a really bad second-degree burn. That took weeks to heal. It was so miserable, and I still have a minor scar from it. It was, oh, it was so bad. I mean, it was immediate blister. I knocked a glue gun down, and my brain was like, catch it. And that 400-degree tip went right into my finger. Like, I was gluing a foot and reaching over what I was doing. And my arm dipped into the glue, and I jumped. And I knocked my gun over. So, trying to catch the gun after burning my leg led to a much, much more severe injury than it probably should have. And it sucked and was absolutely miserable, and I hope I never do that again. It just, oh man, that was pretty awful. Maybe I should start covering these in black foam on the inside. Be more consistent. Yeah, well, and the glue gun we use, these are hotter than normal glue guns. They're called an AdTech Pro 80. There's actually 2 heater cores on them. So on average, glue gun's like 300 degrees. These ones are 350 degrees. And we also have a glue gun that's 420 degrees. So you got to be really careful when you start getting into industrial glue guns. And I really only use the really, really hot ones, the 400 degree one. when we're working on like something that takes a lot of glue at once, like gluing feet fur down or gluing bodysuit padding together. And that can take a lot of glue. So I need a glue gun that has a really high output. So I was using a much hotter glue gun for that. This is one of my Pro 80s. I absolutely love them. They're the longest lasting glue guns I have. They come with interchangeable tips. You take something?
I did, but it hasn't kicked in yet.
So yeah, I gotta be careful with your glue guns. Look at that fluffy fox.
Ooh.
Do you need anything?
No, that's fine. I'm just.
You sure?
Just waiting for it to go.
Did you take one of the quarters?
Yeah.
Do you need a hug? Actually, yeah. I use Gorilla Glue hot glue sticks. They cost considerably more. I mean, I pay $8 for a bag that someone could get a cheaper brand for like free. They're 100% worth it every time. They are so much stronger, so much more durable, and they have a longer working time, which means that they don't cool as fast. So they're really good when you have to glue large areas or do more difficult projects that involve you moving things around more. 100% worth it every time. You'll sometimes see cheap glue sticks in our videos, and it's because either we accidentally bought them by accident and are using them for things that are not under stress. Like, I've occasionally used them to put, like, say something like this on a chin because it's not under stress. And it's not as big of a concern, but I still prefer to use the bigger ones. The Gorilla Glue sticks last longer, they bond a lot better, they help to, because they don't pull away over time, they last a lot better. So you're not worrying about like fur lifting up on a head after several years. So they're definitely worth it. We still get some regular sticks because I put them in my care kits, but we also throw a few Gorilla sticks in every kit as well, and we label them. So when you buy the care kits, you know what's in it. Oh no, the mouth isn't open. as in progress right now, and then I'll have to do it pre-made. Every block I have to do one of our pre-mades. We need to get stock ready for cons this year. I know everybody has to find a reason to complain if I do pre-made over commission work, but it's in my TOS. We need them to sell things at shows so we can take less suits and focus on commissions. Yeah, there are a lot of things I have a hard time with normal sticks where Gorilla is way, way better. Like, seriously recommend the Gorilla sticks. People keep joking that I should tell Gorilla that I use their sticks exclusively and get them to pay to advertise. I highly doubt they do that. But they are seriously worth it. I do not get paid to tell you they're worth it. They are definitely worth it. Here, hold that. Oh great, these scissors are fantastic. Available. One side. Right. See, look how useful lint rollers can be at this job. Ow. Don't bite me. They're not that big. I'm sure the camera makes them look bigger. They're just normal size. A lot of people do realistic heads that completely cover the eyes up. They make them really small, and I have done that on the head previously. I can make them much smaller. I can use smaller eyes. This is just kind of my semi-realistic work. Give them a little bit bigger eyes, make them a little bit more expressionable, give them a little bit more life. You know, not the same generic. But I spend a lot of time looking at anatomy online and making sure that my stuff's gonna work with it. You know, I want it to look like the actual thing, and I hate saying 5 billion hyenas that look like wolves with big ears. Anatomy is important, and I take that with me from doing my fine art. You know, I do it in my padding, and I keep having people go, I like your padding, and I can't figure out why. legs. Well, first, my legs don't look broken. I'm not dissing others' work. It's just everybody has their own preference, and I try really hard to make the anatomy look like it's believable. And acting comes a lot into it too. If you go see a kid and you just stand there, you're not as believable. But if you're moving in a way and you're living it, and it's that acting that gives life to a character and really, really brings it out. I can draw a wild feral animal, no problem. I'm still taking the time to learn and figure out how to draw things in a bipedal and more anthro style. I don't draw people. I have very little experience in it, and I'm not used to drawing things head on. I would do portrait work. Things would be sideways or in a specific angle, and I struggle to do a lot of the new stuff, and I haven't been doing digital work, so I haven't been keeping up with it, and it's taking me time to learn how to do a lot of it. I'm getting there, but it's slow because all I do anymore is make fursuits, and I don't get enough practice doing some of the other stuff I'd like to do. Bow doesn't like the heat. That's funny. Oh, come on. Come on, ears, work with me. Stretch. Yeah, I know what Garchamp is. I'm a nerd. Well, it's funny to step away from drawing for so long, to just be sculpting and making fursuits, and then go back to it and be like, hey, I've actually got this down a little better. It doesn't all translate, but some of it does, and it helps, and just be able to have a better understanding is a good start. I've been working on a digital art piece, a couple of them, a little bit each day on each one, for the past several days, and really, one of them is a circle ref, and I've been really trying to take time to study the references and what they're supposed to look like, and oh god, they're weird, and my brain's just like, that's not how this should work, that's not how this should work. It's like an alien creature, you know? It's not gonna match what I think it should, but it's still that battle with your brain to go, this is what you know, and what you know is wrong. And human proportions are so weird compared to wildlife. Cross those, and I didn't. It's driving me nuts. They're some of the thinnest ears I've ever made, and it's throwing me off. They're really light and flexible, I mean, and they're cute, but it's just throwing me off. Thought I would try something new, and it's hard to change methods when you're used to doing things one way. They've been much harder to work with. Let's see if it's worth it. No, 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 don't do that. No, no, don't do that. This is different than the way I did them before. They're very soft and flexible, which is kind of nice. It's not a way I'm used to having done ears. They're very realistic. I'm happy with that. They're going to be really hard to sew on, though. There's an ear. I'll glue down now. don't know. I don't know like half the music playing. I've got a music list running in the background that's like off of YouTube, so. You can turn it off or just leave it running in there.
Sorry. I was in the bathroom. I just...
Probably a cute fox. Okay, let's do this one different. I didn't like the way I did the other one. I'm gonna leave it slightly curved. A really long Pandora that has all sorts of, like, literally everything on it that I normally listen to. But sometimes it's nice to listen to some other stuff. Yes, it is. Usually I sandwich a piece of wire between two sheets, and this time I put wire on the edge and did an edging over it and left the center as just one sheet. It's like 1/8 inch EVA foam. It's very magically thin EVA foam. Come on, come on, come on. Where are my glue sets up? Why do I know this? Oh, this is like the opening theme. Breath of the Wild. I get these really big rolls of it locally. They're like, I think a yard wide by, like, probably 2 yards long. It's like 3 by 6 feet or something. I just missed out because I haven't been able to find the thicker stuff locally. People do all sorts of things for years. I think some people make them out of Warbler, some people are using EVA foam. I've seen people cut up like plastic dollar store bowls of plastic. This is interesting. If you've got a Joann's near you, you probably have a Michael's Craft Store, and that's where I'm getting my thin rolls. But I've only been able to find them at one Michael's, and I've gone to like 4 locally, so I live in a city, so I don't know if they'll have them where you're at. I've never shopped at Fabric Depot, but we had a Hank Fabrics, and I was crushed when they closed. They had amazing fur and stuff that I loved, and I can't find anymore, and it sucks. I miss having them close. So many big stores have been closing like that. Like Kmart shutting down now. Well, and I think some of it is just like these big corporations like Walmart buy out so many smaller companies and then just go, we're going to take that out. We're going to put this there instead. This brand name's bigger, you know. Buy out a smaller brand and then kill the brand. I mean, if the brand chooses to, you know, sell, that's on them, but it's just interesting. Oh, yeah, so do I. We're over in Troutdale. The Michael's that has the EVA foam is the one in Gresham off of Burnside. There's a Joann's. I think the nearest Joann's is over here too, off of Eastman Parkway. That's the one where I typically shop. I sometimes go to the one off the 205, but like my favorite one is up in Vancouver. That is the biggest Joann's I've ever been in. And if you're in Oregon, you can actually fill out a tax exempt form and not have to pay sales tax at the Washington store. So just an FYI. I lost my little card though, so I need to probably fill out another one. Flappy, flappy. Yeah, the rolls are by far cheaper than the $1 rectangles are. They, at our local one where I have found them, they like to nestle them up along the side of the rack. But yeah, like I said, the other Michael's nearest where I looked didn't have them, so you might just have to hunt around. Maybe it was the one in Corvallis where I got the rolls. It's been a while since I got rolls, because last time I got them, I got like 5 of them. I swear that there was someplace down here. Blick in downtown Portland carries them too, but they cost like 4 times as much, and if you get them at Michael's, you can use a 50% off coupon and get it for like $6. So I don't typically buy them unless I've got a coupon for them. Which is why I stock up when I can. Come on, get in there. Oh, there's Joseph. Or John. One of the other. And it's John. And he found a spider. He says it's an interesting spider. He's not sure if it's dead or alive. It looks kind of like a jumping spider. And the play-by-play of John in the hallway. Hi.
Hi.
Are you? Aw, that's unfortunate. This one, like, has longer fur on the tip than the other one. Okay, see ya. Have a great day. You can try it. Blick usually actually has pretty good prices on a lot of things. The only reason that EVA foam isn't cheap is because they're kind of jumping on the fad of cosplay stuff. But typically the stuff I get there is much, much cheaper than anywhere else. I usually order online though. I get a lot of my airbrush and Golden Brand paints and stuff there that I use all the time. Thank you. John doesn't smoke it. He uses edibles to manage his pain, and he's just waiting for it to kick in.
Is this the shirt that was in her box?
No.
Or did you throw it away?
I threw it away.
Okay.
I threw it away with the bag. I wasn't taking it out of there.
I was going to say, I was hoping you did because I was like so worried I accidentally threw it in the laundry.
No, I didn't even take it out of the box. I just pulled the bag out and threw it in the dump.
Good. Thank you.
I've lived with roommates who always try to wash those, and I'm just like, no. Our cat dragged one of my shirts into her litter box the other day because she's a butthole. What? Yeah, I'm not that desperate. It had holes in it anyways. Oh, this is dying. Oh, I need a new battery. Don't die on me. I lost my vacuum. What did I do with it? I just had it. Anything else to... Do you want anything else done to you? Oh, my hiccups. I think I might be done with you. Go back for now.
I find interesting how moving that speaker system really changed the way it sounds, not as much out here, but as in our bedroom. It's like got this really nice flow to it, like this whole area turned into like the inside of a guitar, you know? It sounds really good.
I've been wanting to move it for a long time. Just the fact of not having it all come from way over there is really nice.
Yeah.
Hey, honey.
What?
Remember when you offered to give me water 3 hours ago?
Oh my god. I'm gonna make you coffee too.
You said that at that point too. Did you not?
Yeah. But I went in here and I got into cleaning and putting away all the dishes.
Tired brain does tired stupid things.
Trying to prepare for inspection.
We can only do so much. I mean, we kind of work here.
Yeah, I know.
Take it easy though. Don't hurt yourself.
Just don't want to give them any reasons to believe that we're threatening the place.
Yeah, they're gonna walk in that back room and smell that.
Yeah, that's actually the thing I'm most worried about. Is that the smell.
I mean, she's aware of it, but I don't know who's coming in and doing the inspection.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it, and it sucks, and I hate it. I mean, we're gonna have to pay to have that carpet replaced, and I'd love to do it now. Because I'm sick of it. I would like to use that room. But at the moment, I'm not sure there's really much that can be done, so. This suit is going to be one of the prettiest suits I've ever made. And I love these furs. And I'm going to be so sad that all I get are scraps. And that little bit I ordered, and I really wish I would have ordered extra. I'm never going to be able to get more of it. Oh, puppy water's in there.
Yeah, I just, I like to, if we can, get it nice enough that we have no problems and give a good impression simply because it's not like they have the power to kick us out immediately or anything like that because we've got a lease. But places, when they think that they have a problem, people, they'll just nip at them until
they leave. Yeah, I know.
Want to be nipped at.
Well, she won't cause the issue. That's not what concerns me because the landlord's in here, she's seen it, she's aware of it. I might, like, have you go to Walmart and just get some of the carpet powder and empty that room and vacuum it when Joe gets home. You need his help to empty it, though. Yeah. You know the deodorizing stuff I'm talking about? Yeah. Because that was what I used last time. This never got brushed out when we did it. Oh, come on. Take it easy.
Oh, today is the 19th. It's my dad's birthday.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday.
I gotta call him. I was thinking of calling him this morning and I can't remember why.
Have you guys decided on your subjects for Weasel Talk this weekend?
What?
You guys decided on your subjects for Weasel Talk this weekend?
No, I'm not.
You guys will have to come up with something. screwed with you.
Learn.
He couldn't get it to bring the bottom thread up for some reason, and I haven't gotten up yet to help him.
No.
He's been working on laundry and cleaning our bedroom cleaning section tomorrow. That room, whenever you're free, can you help John empty it and vacuum it?
Spare.
Huh?
Spare.
Yeah, I want you and John to go to Walmart and over in the cleaning area. They have, it's a powder and it says pets. You sprinkle it on carpet before you vacuum. And empty that room into the hallway for a while. Sprinkle it in there. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Vacuum it and do it like 3 times. And it'll make it a little better. That was what I did last time. It's not a permanent fix, but it makes it a little more bearable. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I still owe you cookies too, don't I? What on earth do they have you up on roofs for? The wind is flying today.
We were somewhere else.
How can you be a roofer and do something not on a roof? Does that mean today you were an anti-roofer?
Huh?
Does that mean today you were an anti-roofer?
We're in a different town.
Ouch. didn't give it to him. Enough. Let's try again. Shoving all this crap in my corner so I can't get out of here. Why? Leave space so I can get out. Back. Work area. I'm sorry. It takes a lot of work to make them, so the cost has to pay for that. This is also what I do for a living. I'm not just a hobbyist. bottom didn't work. I don't want to just paint half of the panel black and then sew it into a tail. Okay, so the ears are glued, the head is glued, I guess. Oh, hi.
That's fast.
Stencil slid on that one. So I cut it out of the sleeve and drew a new block. It needs to dry, but...
So what are you gonna cut? Sew that into the arm or something? Or?
Yep.
Well, it works. At least.
That or I have to cut a new panel this big, and I'm just like, no.
At least if somehow that ever gets ruined for any reason, you can just
repanel it. Yeah.
No.
This here is it's not straight, so it actually made it so I could cut it out and make sure the line's right, because it'll only go into that block one way.
Oh.
Wait. Ears are glued. His head is ready to be patterned.
Yeah.
There's another person here. I swear I'm not talking to myself. The stream was very chatty and active earlier.
Sure. That's what they all say.
Mm-hmm. If it makes you feel better, that was clean.
What was clean?
Harriet put it there.
What? Oh.
We'll just blame her. It's always her. I have emails to answer. I don't answer them. 3 different people messaged me about getting soup today. Just trying to decide now what I want to move on to, because once I'm done with this, it can be sewn in and the edging put on.
Yeah.
I can either start gluing the feet down, or I can pattern the head.
I don't know what problem John was having. It seems to be.
I might do the head, so one of you guys can cut it out.
Okay. But yeah, seems to be working
First.
fine.
Oh, he said he couldn't get the thing to bring the thread up from the bottom. I think it just needed... Did it not have a bobbin in there?
It did have a bobbin.
He's sewing machine illiterate. You get to teach him now.
Okay.
What's waiting is I need the heels of the feet sewn.
Oh. Okay.
Where it goes thick, 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 thick for skinny, stretchy leather. I would recommend starting with the fur.
Yeah. Oh,
and then going off on the liner.
Right there. Okay.
I got new shorts today. And the new top.
Nice.
I couldn't find my other bathing suit top, so.
Oh? Harriet steal it?
No, it's actually more funny because it's a sports bra over a sports bra. It doesn't even fit me right. But people will give me less weird looks at the gym because the other sports bra looks too bra-like.
Oh well. It's gonna be funny when we go there to the dancing area and I bring my stilts.
Yes, when we go there and go dance in Fursuit in the back room,
Well,
that will be the best.
We'll have to pad them in places just so if I fall, I'm not scratching up their floor. Because I don't want to pay for a new floor. So we'll have to...
Let's just bring foam up.
Oh, yeah.
Is it dry? Oh, not quite. Still waiting.
Yeah.
It's as fun as watching paint dry.
Because because you're watching paint dry.
Here's what I did, you guys. Pretty marking.
Do you do haircuts?
Only in furries. Furry fursuits.
Oh, only furry fursuits?
No, I don't do haircuts.
Why?
I do a really, really bad job, I promise you.
Okay.
Did you look at John's haircut that he got from me the other day?
He got a haircut.
Yeah, when he got his hair on the friggin' Dremel and I had to cut it out. I even went at it with thinning shears to make it look a tiny bit better. Hey, I needed that. Yeah, because I'm about to pattern the head and someone's got to cut it out. That wasn't working.
Sorry, just a couple.
I'm gonna probably cut the stream in a few minutes here and then put another one up later. I'm ready for a break. I'm tired. I've been sitting here in my chair for 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Thanks.
I can be like 4 hours is break time, but regardless of what I do, one of my next tasks is 4.5 hours long, and the other one's an hour. So I don't have any. And once I start each one, I can't really stop. So I'm just like sitting here patiently waiting to brush this sleeve. Overall on the suit, fur needs glued to the feet. Hand paws need work done. Someone's got to work on things. John was reclipping those.
Yeah.
Fur need for the feet. So the fur for the feet needs glued down. Tail needs sewn onto the bodysuit. Which do I want to machine it? Did anyone make a tail pillow?
Not that I'm aware of.
Prior to it going on the bodysuit, someone needs to flip that tail inside out and trace it on paper. Since you guys can do that, I'll let one of you guys do it.
Okay.
But you're working on his padding. Let John do that.
How's that thing gonna be removable?
The pillow?
Yeah.
It's squishy.
Tail's like.
The tail hole? No, it's not.
No.
No, we gave it a medium-sized hole. The hole's this big.
Is it?
Yeah. No, it's bigger than that. It has a medium. It has a medium cap.
I thought it was a small.
No. John was going to. I told him no.
Oh.
That's why we were debating attached. I made it big enough that the pillow could be pulled up.
Yeah.
And even so, if we were concerned, I could do a side zipper in the tail. So that's what we were discussing. Just whether we wanted to put a zipper on and sew it on. But it is big enough that we can pull it through. You should sit down. Over there.
I'm gonna put this in the bedroom.
Maybe you should follow him.
Alright.
Oh, he took some stuff last night, and then he took one of mine this morning.
Sorry.
Well, he took half one of mine, took the other half later, but he was cleaning, and he's been running up and downstairs doing laundry all day, so he took a quarter a little bit ago.
I was just fine, and then I got up from talking to my dad. It was his birthday, and says wish him happy birthday.
Gravity happened.
Yeah.
It's time we all take a break. Well, you haven't even started yet.
He had work already.
Yeah, I know. You know I'm never gonna make you, but I won't complain if you want to.
This sounds like Spyro.
This is like a mixed music list that has several things in it.
I guess it probably is Spyro.
This is definitely Spyro. I know my Spyro. Did you burn it?
Maybe. I don't know.
You guys ever get that box to the post office?
Yep. That was the first thing I did this morning at like 9 o'clock.
Okay. That's good.
Still in my pajamas. When I came and got him, I went and had lunch at a park. When he was a little less.
Huh?
And then we came back and started working. I mean, I've already been doing stuff on and off all morning, so.
Yeah.
Literally since I rolled out of bed.
What?
Well, I tried to get up at like 8. No, sorry, it's 7:30, and then it's like not having any of it. And woke up at 9. I was like, okay, gotta get up. There we go. Bathroom's all clogged up. It will like not pick this up. That's frustrating.
I did not get the reaction I thought I was gonna. Yeah, they're perfect.
Oh.
But I did not get the reaction I thought I was gonna get with those stilts. I got only 4 likes and one reply.
Oh, our page got like 80.
Well, up to you. I got more likes and replies on when I got more likes and replies when the stickers, the wedge for the head stickers arrived.
Yeah, but you also tagged people in those.
I tagged Area 51, and they never replied. Well,
Most big companies don't.
yeah.
Okay, well, that came out pretty nice. I'm gonna go for a while. I'll be back later, maybe. I don't know. Don't take my word on that.